best deal in DFS.
For a limited time only, we are offering new members a 15% discount for the life of their subscription, including SaberSim subs. Simply use the promo code NFL15 when subscribing to take advantage of this great deal before our prices go up.
And at RPS, we don't just give you access to one sport. When you subscribe to our premium service, we give you access to all of our content, including NFL, NBA, MLB, PGA, and so much more.
And we're not going to charge extra for access to our preseason content either. Our memberships include all of our content, including the NFL preseason. The best DFS players in the industry give you access to their core plays and slate strategies for every sport and for every slate. Simplify your lineup building process by plugging in picks directly from the top players in the world. Watch our premium live streams to gain a huge edge on the competition. Our guys are live up to lock for the biggest slates, walking you through their last-minute decisions, analyzing breaking news and injury alerts for the major sports.
Again, for a limited time only, you can access our industry-leading DFS content for 15% off our already low price. SaberSim packages are included, so sign up today using the promo code NFL15 for 15% off your subscription for life and start building winning lineups today.
What is going on, everybody? Happy Monday. Usual Monday crew, Hoop, AP, myself, talking some baseball. We got 10 games today. Pitching absolutely loaded today. Great pitching options. Hitting, I think, is a little tougher. So I'm excited to hear what these two got to say, what stacks they are on. As always, hit that like button for us, please. Hit that big red subscribe button. A lot of familiar faces in chat. Nadesify, Richie Smalls, Junior, Brian, Maul, Stephen Coy, Mike Carr, Yeezy. Appreciate all of you hanging out with us. Connor Charger, what's going on, man? Hope you guys and girls are all having a great Monday. AP, I'll throw it over to you first. How was your weekend? Golf. We were talking a little pre-show about golf. I saw a lot of big golf hits in chat. How did you do? Anything fun over the weekend? What's going on, man?
Yeah, my boy Sepp Straka, he was, right down there to the end. I had 0 of them. And, for me, it was, a hurtful week of golf. Russell Henley was very hurtful. Billy Horschel, another casualty of mine. Man, it was tough, but, in the MME streets, I got some money back, so it is what it is. And my kids are back in school, so I was able to be productive today.
Nice.
They weren't at the house, like, bugging me and stuff, and so, yeah, things are good.
Yeah, that's definitely nice. Kids going back to school. I remember Big T always talks about it all the time. Hoop, I feel like you're probably, close to Wisconsin time, after Labor Day or day before Labor Day, or right around there they get back in.
Right after. Yeah, right after Labor Day. It is a game changer for productivity.
Counting down the days.
Yes. Things change quite a bit. Productivity goes through the roof, a lot more time, but it's definitely fun to spend time with them over the summer as well. Yeah, the PGA, I had a lot of Zalatoris, but a lot of those shitheads that AP mentioned, Russell Henley hurt us quite a bit, and a few other guys. But coming down to the end here, and it's cool to see Zalatoris get that win. And like you said, a lot of members had big hits this weekend as well. Got a good 10-game slate here, some stellar pitching, and offensively there's nothing that stands out as must play, so it makes it pretty interesting. I think we can count on things being spread out quite a bit. So yeah, it's going to be a fun baseball slate to get the week started here.
Absolutely. Ron Rice said, kids back in school already? I'm moving where you are. AP, the thing is, obviously you start early, you get done earlier. What time do your kids get out of school for the summer?
Early May, I think.
Early May, yeah. We were early June. Yeah,
early June. Okay. Right. Or no,
yeah.
Late May, maybe. I forget. I can't remember.
Something like that, though. But yeah, I mean, it's always exciting when you send the kids back to school. Football season's right here. Counting down the days. I cannot wait for football season. We do have the promo code still going, NFL15. Get you 15% off your life subscription if you don't cancel every single month. SaberSim is also included. We got preseason football going on. We've had some good success in the chat there. Rubio always on the playbook. Big T, Kurt, JSU always in the streets dropping some cores. NASCAR, I saw big hits. NASCAR, shout out to the betting team, Coop and Keg yesterday. Absolutely crushed on the betting side Saturday and Sunday. So if you are living in a legal state, make sure you check those guys out. MMA still going on, golf still going on, only 1 or 2 more weeks. But hey, a ton of sports going on. Head over Run Pure Sports and check it out. Like button as always, subscribe button as always. Yeah, Ron Rice at mid-June here. That's what back in Wisconsin, probably by Hoop 2. Get in there after Labor Day, mid-June, earlier June. That's when they get out of school. K-Fleet Burner, what's going on? Butthole Jenkins. Like button, subscribe button. We appreciate that. But let's go right into this slate because it's a good one. Pitching, as we always start with, absolutely loaded. Again, we were talking a little pre-show. Garrett Cole, his projection across the industry is absolutely ridiculous. And I mean, ridiculous. And I'm not arguing it by any means. 8.5 strikeout prop, juice on the over, gets the nut matchup against Tampa Bay. But there's other options on this slate for sure. Shohei Ohtani absolutely has been great this year. Luis Castillo has been a stud for many weeks. 9.2K against this Angels team we're not worried about. Spencer Strider's been a hero for RPS in there, 8.7. Julio Urias, Carlos Carrasco. I'm going to say, let's go. Yeah, I'll say 8K and above because Freddie Peralta at 8.1K. He does have good name value. He is a solid pitcher. I think he's a pretty easy cross out. I'm worried about the pitch count a little bit. He gets these Dodgers, and there's just so many good people up above. But 8K and above, I'll start with you, who loaded range. I didn't even mention Carlos Carrasco, I don't think. Talk about this range, man. How are you going to cross guys off? Are you going all in on certain guys? It's a tough one.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely loaded range. Like you talked about, a lot of, big names going tonight. And, the first name I think you got to talk about is Garrett Cole, and the projections on him are through the roof. I mean, to levels like you rarely see. I think the consensus projection for DraftKings on DraftKings for Garrett Cole is like 26 fantasy points. Like that's super high for a pitcher. The matchup is elite here. Against Tampa Bay, who struggles against right-handed pitching. I think, he's close probably to like a lock button play where you just get him in there. The price is not prohibitive at all. 10.1K, very easy to make it work. We have a lot of cheap batters on FanDuel. I think it's a little more interesting because you have him up at 11K and Shohei Ohtani is 10K. So you're getting a $1,000 savings. So, a little closer for decision there, but on DK, like I think it's Garrett Cole. Number 1, Ohtani. Number 2 as well. The one thing with him, he's not going to pitch like well into the hundreds. It seems like they kind of capped him in the 90s and he's not going over that, but he can get it done. I mean, the strikeout stuff is phenomenal. 7.5 K prop with the juice on the over. Garrett Cole's is 8.5 with the juice on the over. So both of these guys in phenomenal spots. Now you come down a little bit. Yeah, I mean, Urias has been good, but just because of how much I like Cole, I'm not really going to be on him. The next guy I like a lot is Castillo. I mean, 9.2K. He's been very good since the trade. Gets the ideal matchup here against this Angels team. 9.2 is a little bit of a price discount from those guys up top. So Cole's the next guy I'll be on. If you're doing 150, I'm not doing 150 lineups today. I think Strider is a guy to potentially consider. I mean, what you're getting with him. I mean, it's boom, boom, up, down, up, down. I mean, he's got 40 fantasy point ceiling and like a 5 fantasy point floor. Like there's not many guys like that. He's so erratic with the strikeout stuff. So good. I know there's some talk about, them potentially monitoring his innings moving forward. So that is a slight downgrade, but man, like he can get the job done in like 4 to 5 innings. Like you can go out there and just mow down 10, 11 guys. So large field GPPs, I like him. Ownership should be low. And then the rest of the guys I'm not really going to be on. I'm not playing Carrasco, Urquidy, Cueto, or Freddie Peralta against the Dodgers. It's Cole, Ohtani, Castillo. Those are my 3 favorite pitchers on the slate, and I'm going to get as much exposure to those guys as possible. And it's easy on the slate because there's not a priority in the hitting department.
Yep, definitely agree. I mean, yeah, you look at Strider, 40 piece 2 games ago, 3 piece the next game. I mean, the ultimate boomer bust. But hey, You're playing GPPs, you're playing for first place. And you're not going to see Strider come in with the ownership as he has on a lot of slates earlier in the year, last month, couple weeks ago, stuff like that. He will be on the lower owned side. I mean, he's going to get some ownership, of course, but I think Cole's definitely the highest owned. Tani's sitting right there. I definitely like Luis Castillo a lot. He's just looked so good. That pitching duel last start against Garrett Cole was a lot of fun to watch. It had the playoff atmosphere. AP, 8K and above, talk about how you're ranking these guys.
Yeah, I mean, to say this slate is loaded with pitching options is kind of an understatement, in my opinion. I mean, we got all the like best fastball, four seam guys like on the slate. Ohtani, Cole, Castillo, Strider. I mean, if you just look at like velocity numbers, these guys are top, with their four seam, and all of them mixing a really good slider as well. So it's going to be really interesting. But man, Cole, I'm 100% in line with the projection on Cole. Clear number one guy for me. Even like if you look at a few of his recent starts, a couple shaky ones in there, like the Cole that we're all used to seeing. But this matchup is just so good. The Rays striking out at a 28% clip against righties, and all the other metrics look really good. This is like a ceiling Cole type spot where we could see like 40 DK points and him putting up a, double-digit strikeout performance. And we know what his leash is like. So Cole, clear top guy. I'm hopeful that maybe ownership is a little bit lower than where it should be due to all the other names that we have on this slate. Ohtani, Hoop, you both said it perfectly with him. The leash isn't as strong as Cole, but man, the stuff is good. The numbers look really good. Very, very, very high strikeout rate. He's been an absolute machine. He's basically like carrying this Angels team on his back, like by himself, hitting and pitching. No one else comes close to him on this team. It's really impressive what he's doing. But this Mariners team, not really one that I like to attack, man. They got some really good bats there. So
they got Haggerty in there, man. Tough to attack.
God, don't you love seeing that little, alert come through whenever he hits a bomb or like a double?
I think of you every time.
Off. Haggerty, he's a stud. But the thing with Ohtani is if his four seam isn't like, man, if he doesn't have good command over that, if his pitches are off just a little bit, going against a patient team, he can struggle a little bit. So I do have some concerns with him. Urias is interesting just from a matchup based option. He's what I would consider a better real life pitcher than DFS pitcher, and that's just due to he if you look at his win rate, it's one of the best out there. Obviously, with the Dodgers bats behind him, that makes sense. And then a fine 25% strikeout rate, but if you look at this Brewers team, it's title. It's night and day. When they're going against lefties, and then when they're going against righties. I mean, it is night and day. You're talking, a massive strikeout rate, 28% against lefties, and so on paper, Urias could make some sense. If we can get him lower owned, I have him as kind of a tournament play, just because I can't play him over Cole. And then Strider's the guy that, man, like we all like watching him pitch. He's really fun, throws 100 mile an hour plus, just throws heat all night. Little maybe one dimensional, and I think this Mets team, they look at that and they get aggressive, expecting the heat all night and just swing away and try to get at his pitches early and often get him uncomfortable. And so if he can make some changes, I think this is going to be his third time facing the Mets, so maybe he can make some adjustments, and if he can get in a groove, I think he could get it done. The price tag is pretty alluring there. 8.7. So that's I have some interest in him. But man, if we get down to Luis Castillo that Hoop was talking about another pitcher, just absolutely like this guy he's been quietly really good. If you look at his last 30-day metrics, I always like looking at the short-term stuff. 3.6 xFIP, over a 28% strikeout rate. He's faced the Yankees 3 times in the last 30 days. I mean, you're talking about a pitcher that like on paper looks incredible, that's faced the Yankees 3 times. Man, I think he's close to like my second favorite option on this slate. So absolutely loaded up top. Cole, Castillo, Urias, all very much in play. Ohtani in play, but I prefer Cole. And I want to anchor my lineups with one of those two guys. It's probably going to be Cole that I go all in on. And then Castillo, Strider. I like those guys as well. And we're going to get down to like this range down here where a few guys project decently, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to them. But so for me, I'm loading up on these guys up top.
So no Carrasco, no Urquidy, no Freddie Peralta.
No, I just, I think everything that we talked about kind of elevates those guys, Cole, Castillo, Strider, even, those guys, Urias even, above those other names.
Yeah, no, it definitely makes sense. Yeah, I'm definitely on board with Julio Urias. I mean, someone in chat, I think it was Gator, he's a Brewers fan too, how the Brewers have been struggling lately. You brought up against the lefties. I mean, you look at Julio Urias's game log. I mean, sign me up for those performances as of late. And he's right in that range. I think it's going to be forgotten. Garrett Cole and Ohtani up top. Then Urias right there, not too big of savings. Then you get Luis Castillo is $400 cheaper, Strider, all that. So I think he comes completely forgotten. And I definitely agree with you with Castillo. He's probably my favorite tournament play on this slate. He's just been so elite. And yes, he's going to get some ownership, but I don't think it's going to get to the Cole range or anything like that. So it's definitely loaded up top, but we'll go down 8K and below. A couple names I saw people throw out in chat. Josiah Gray against the Chicago team. Alex Cobb against Arizona. Marcus Stroman against Washington. Those are a couple names I saw thrown out in chats. AP, I'll go back to you. Up top, absolutely loaded. You need good pitching scores on this slate to win. At least that's how I see it. Do any of these guys have the upside, or can they get it done? Or are you just going to fade the whole range?
Yeah, I mean, this slate does feel like a slate where you're going to need good scores from your pitchers. I mean, I played Brady Singer yesterday against the Dodgers, and he absolutely mowed for me. But I did my SP2. I should have ate some chalk there, and I didn't. And that's what ultimately ended up hurting me, and why I didn't, come out with a net profit on that slate. So I think you need two big numbers from your pitchers tonight, which honestly, I think we have to be careful when we get down to this range. I saw Josiah Gray, kind of popping in some projections, Joe Ryan as well. Alex Cobb is a guy that's really projecting in projections too. I have some issues with all of these guys just from a matchup-based standpoint. Josiah Gray struggles with fly balls at time, hard contact. If he gets in the zone, he could definitely produce here. But, man, am I playing him over, spinning up a little bit more for, Castillo, Strider, some Urias, some of these guys in much better matchups, much better stuff overall? I don't think so. And so, for me, it really I hope a guy like Alex Cobb is popular tonight. He's gotten absolutely destroyed by the Diamondbacks. He has yet to put up 10 DK points in any of the times that he's seen them. They've just had his number. And when we have options on the slate, why even go there? Even if the projections look decent. If you look at the metrics, which I do, they look fine. 2.9 xFIP, 30% strikeout rate. He's limited walks, limited hard contact, everything aligns. But for some reason, the Diamondbacks have had his number. I'm not going to mess with that spot. I hope he gets some ownership because I want to take ownership away from some of these other guys. So for me, man, I Cole, he's probably the title, the decision for me is kind of clear. I want, we got to make stands. We got to get overweight. So for me, it's who am I going to anchor my lineup with at the SP1 spot, Cole or Ohtani? It's definitely Cole, locking him in SP1. And then all those other guys that I mentioned, I'm probably going to mix and match with Cole. That's going to be my route tonight.
Yeah, I think that totally makes sense. I didn't say it yet, but AP, you're looking smooth. Nice fade going on, no hat on, got the hair gel in. Looking good, man. I
went two, so I was sporting a hat for a long time. I went 2 months without, getting a haircut. So
yeah,
the wife was bitching. I had to get it done.
For the anniversary. You missed the conversation on Friday, title. He's trying to get it in for the anniversary. So he had to make sure he's looking good and not his best behavior.
Sacrifices. Yeah. You're looking good. All right, for sure. Hey, Hoop, I'll go over to you. 8K and below. Like I said, we mentioned some names. I guess people were talking about Glenn Otto in Discord a good amount against Oakland. I mean, talk about it. Cobb, Joe Ryan, Josiah Gray. Can these guys get to these top range and match these guys up top?
Just again, it's one of those conversations we have about. We have quite a bit where I see 4 guys up top that probably get 25 plus, and especially on this slate where there's not a Coors Field that could go off for like 15 runs. Like if you fade that, you're going to be in trouble. So majority of my teams are going to be double spend at pitcher. Now, if you want to make some exceptions and come down here, I don't love it, honestly. I think you can get by with double spending today quite easily. But if you are looking to come down here, I mean, Alex Cobb, I guess I'd play. I kind of agree with AP. I don't love it, man, but like 7K, can he go out there and get, 18, 20 fantasy points? I think he can, but the question is that enough on this slate? We'll see. So Cobb would be the guy that I go to down here. I mean, another guy that's ranking well in projections, Kikuchi. I can't imagine like clicking that name. That guy, I just think he's what's the word you like to use? Cheeks. Right? Yeah. Like
big time
Kikuchi.
cheeks.
Yeah.
The Orioles own him too. Like they own him. Go look at those.
I'll have a little interest on the Orioles. Yeah, we'll talk about that. I wasn't going to say anything, but
Stroman's a name that gets brought up. It's like, where's the upside, man? With Cobb, it's like at least you see like a 30 fantasy point game. You pull up Stroman, and it's like
that's the epitome of a better real life pitcher than DFS.
Correct. Do I think he goes out there and pitches 5 to 6 innings, picks up the win? Yeah, but he's probably going to get like 3 strikeouts and get you like 16 fantasy points. Just not enough on the slate. So I'm going to be in that top tier as much as possible. Alex Cobb, if you need it at 7K. Okay, if you want to pick on Oakland with Glenn Otto, sure, go for it. I mean, he really hasn't gotten rocked, that much lately, but his worst start lately has been against Oakland. So I don't know. I mean, long story short, for me, I'm going to be in that upper tier as often as possible. Cobb, and I guess, another guy, maybe Otto. I haven't fully built my teams yet, so I don't know how much I'll need, but I don't imagine that it's going to be a lot.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to go all the way down, Otto would be my choice against the Oakland team. But on this slate, I'm not sure I need it. Eddie Quick said, Title Time, when are you getting a fade? Maybe when I'm 90 and my hair starts falling out. Maybe, but I don't know, man. I don't think that'll be happening over here. Let's go. Let's talk our favorites. I mean, Garrett Cole cannot be said. So I'll say favorite 3 pitchers. Garrett Cole's one for everyone. I think that totally makes sense. If you fade him, yeah. I mean, I don't think you need to lock in Cole in every lineup. There's nothing wrong with it, but there are other viable options. And with the ownership, what I expect it to be at, I wouldn't call you crazy if you went a Urias Castillo, Tani Castillo, something along those lines. But Cole is number 1 for all of us. Top 3 pitchers. AP, I'll go to you.
Yeah, I'm going to say Cole.
No, you can't say Cole. Top 3 besides Cole.
Well, I'm going to say Cole anyway.
All right, then give me 4.
Can't change the rules on me.
I mean,
I mean, all right, Cole locked in. I'll give you 3 more that I like.
Everyone, that was all of us.
Yeah, okay. Castillo, I think he's going to be my number 2. Love the matchup here. I just think he quietly could post like a massive, monster number. I'm going to say Urias as well from a matchup standpoint. And then it's, I already like Ohtani is kind of a given too, but I want to make a stand on this slate, and that's going to be Cole. So I think Strider comes in at my number 3.
I like it. Who?
I actually am in lockstep with AP. It's going to be Castillo. Castillo after Cole, Ohtani, and then the upside of Strider in large field stuff. If you're making 1 lineup, I don't think you go to Strider. If you're doing 3, I don't think you go to Strider. But in 150, man, those 40 pieces look nice. And can he get there? Yes. Is it likely? No. But man, he can get 30 with ease. And even if he is somewhat limited, he can do it in 4 to 5 innings. So him in large field stuff.
I like it. I will say, I'll say the 2, Castillo and Julio Urias. 6.5K prop, a little juice on the over. I think he gets forgotten in this range. And AP mentioned good stuff with the Brewers. They have not been looking too hot as of late. So it would be better if it was in Dodger Stadium, but I still like him. And I think the ownership would be a little higher if it was. So that is pitching on the slate. Absolutely loaded with Garrett Cole headlining the slate. Again, hit that like button for us, please. Hit that big red subscribe button. We need 300 today for the plays of the day. You guys should be able to get it done for us. I know you will. We do have to talk about the members never win segment too. Shout out some of our members. Jerker starts it off with $1,100 in PGA, the ROI king in Jerker. He was crushing preseason golf. It was like $30 into 1,100. grinding all the sports as always. So congrats to you, Jerker. Awesome stuff. Then we got Michael Smith, 20,000 in PGA, Simo, 14,000 in MMA, Dante, 4,700 in MLB, and then Simo again, 35,000 in MLB. Congrats to all of you guys. And again, if you do want to be on this segment, or have a chance to be on this segment, we do have a members never win segment in Discord. Drop the screenshots in there and you can make it. So congrats to you 4 people that did make it, and looked in to see some more winners tonight in the MLB streets. So 300 likes, hit the like, hit the subscribe. NFL 15 gets you 15% off every single month. Head over to Run Pure Sports and check it out. But let's go game by game on the slate. First game on the day, Tampa Bay Rays, New York Yankees. Ryan Yarbrough is the long reliever against Garrett Cole. Hoop, I'll start with you. I mean, obviously, we know if you want the biggest leverage on the slate, play the Rays. I don't think any of us will be doing that. Any Yankees for you?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the only case for the Rays is that when Garrett Cole's off, the ball's leaving the yard and he gives up a lot of home runs. So if, you want to play that angle, you're looking for the ultimate leverage, there it is. If am I doing it? Absolutely not. But that's the case to, play some Rays guys. Yankee side, yeah, definitely interested in like the main guys. Like this is a team I can't really stack outside of like Torres, Judge, Donaldson, and even Andujar. I think fine plays, but I'm just sticking with those guys. And will they be popular? Yes, Judge is always going to be a popular play in DFS. Outside of that, you don't really need to worry about the ownership. The one thing I will say, the total in this game does scare me a little bit, sitting at 7. Implied team total for the Yankees is under 4.5, which is pretty low, but that's the slate that we're dealing with. There's not many highly projected offenses, so I'm in on the Yankees, and it's just the core guys. Like, I mean, I can't go to the bottom and play some of these scrubs down here like Connor Fluff or Aaron Hicks. I can't do it. Now I'm sure those guys like go back to back in the second inning to shove it right in my face. But sticking with the core guys here. Outside of Judge, I don't think anyone's really going to be all that highly owned. And then, no Rays, obviously.
Yeah, you mentioned it. You see the Yankees implied total 4.4, 10-game slate. Like usually we wouldn't have too much interest, but there's only 2 teams with implied total above 5 today on the slate. And that's the Twins that are sitting right about there. And then Toronto sitting at 5.1. So it's not we talked about all these really elite pitchers on the slate. Something has to give with hitting and the weather. I mean, the later we get in August and we get to September, it's not 90 degrees at places. There's no games that are going to be 90. There's not even a lot of games that are going to be over 80. So the ball's not traveling as much, but it is in Yankee Stadium. The ball can fly out there. AP, any Yankees for you? And I assume no Rays.
Yeah, so the Yankees, that total kind of aligns with what I want to do with them. 3-man stacks only. If you look at their production against lefties as a team, it's really good. But honestly, if you dial it down further and look at who's producing, we all know who it is. Aaron Judge, obviously, just on an absolute another tier, right now. And then Anthony Rizzo, lefty on lefty. No one's going to play in these spots, and like no one plays him at all. It's crazy how low his ownership is. Play him in your 3-mans. Go like Aaron Judge, Rizzo, and Jose Trevino. He's been good against lefties as well. That would be like my ideal 3-man power stack against Yarbrough here. So it's going to be 3-man stacks only for me in this spot tonight.
Makes some sense. Let's get to the next game on the slate. We got the Chicago Cubs, the Washington Nationals, Marcus Stroman, Josiah Gray on the mound, 70 degrees in Washington. 2 solid real-life pitchers, I guess. If we want to say Josiah Gray solid, we talked about him a little bit in DFS. AP, I'll go back to you. Any Cubs, any Nationals?
Yeah, I mean, the one thing about Josiah Gray is I think it's our boy Steve talks about all the time. He's given up the most home runs, I think, in baseball. I could be wrong, chat. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I know that number is very high. Actually, I could probably pull it up real quick. I mean, just in one game, he gave up 4, and that was, I believe, last week. So that number is definitely high.
Yeah, you're right. 29, Berrios 26, Hunter Green 23, top 3.
There you go. My problem is, gosh, I don't like this Cubs team. It's just I don't like this lineup that much. But man, they went off the other day. So like any one of these guys could hit a bomb. I don't want to full stack them. I don't want to like eliminate them as a stack. I'm fine with, getting a couple one-offs here too against Josiah Gray going home run hunting. Not a spot I absolutely like, but I do think, the trend continues with him. He probably gives up a home run or two tonight. Outside of that, though, he doesn't give up like a ton. He gives up his bomb or two, and then he's actually pretty decent, which makes it really tough to stack against him because you're really home run hunting there. And I'm not going to be playing the Nationals here against Stroman.
What are your thoughts, Hoop?
Yeah, mostly the same. I'll say I would go like a 3-man Cub stack. Hope you hit, the home runs. I don't want to full stack it here. It doesn't seem like he gets blown up. Gray, that is a ton, but he does give up the home run. So Contreras at 5.8K on DK. I just don't think many people are going to pay that price tag. He could win the position very easily, so he would be part of it. Franmil Reyes, I'm a big Reyes guy. He's hit a bomb, I believe, over the weekend. He's another guy that could hit a homer. And then, Suzuki or Happ, I think, are fine. So I'd be sticking with those guys. In cash games, this Nick Madrigal, 2.1K. I think you can play him in cash. Probably wouldn't, probably try to avoid him in tournaments, but it would be 3-man stacks for me. On the Cubs side, and then the Nationals, it's just tough with this team to get excited. This Joey Meneses guy continues to play well. I mean, he has had multiple hits in every single game so far. He is 3.1K first base outfield eligible. I think he's interesting as a one-off. I wouldn't exclude him out of my player pool. He's been very cheap on FanDuel. He is 2K still on FanDuel, and first base eligible. If you want to pay all the way up for Garrett Cole, he's a punt that I have interest in. 2K flat on FanDuel. What was it? 3-1 on DK. Multiple hits, like I said, in every single game since he's been called up. So you like to see that. I had asked, I think Stevie or Gary, maybe it was Gary in the chat, and they said, yeah, this guy has like big time power upside. He's a lot of home runs in minor leagues. So he's interesting as a one-off guy to keep in your player pool, and then 3-man Cub stacks I do like.
It's not very often you see the second and third highest priced hitters on the team batting in the 8 and 9 holes. So if you want to get contrarian, right away, Wisdom has upside, Morel has upside. If you are playing the Cubs, man, they're going to be absolutely.
Wow. Did they think these guys were in Coors or something? Like, why is he 5.5 and 5.3 for Wisdom and Morel? That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, Morel has a home run in two home runs in his last 4 games. Yeah, Wisdom, I think, just hit one. Yeah, yesterday. Yeah, he's also just one, but then he had a 14 piece. I don't really know, to be honest. I don't think they're always. Morel's been in the 9 hole. Wisdom's not always in the 8 hole. But hey, if you want a very expensive mini stack. Man, I mean, if you play the Cubs, they're going to be absolutely unknown, and you get a home run. We always talk about baseball. You can overspend. You get 1 home run. You're totally fine with it every single time. So that's just something to note. You don't see that every single day. Next game on the slate, Baltimore Orioles, Toronto Blue Jays, Kyle Bradish and Kikuchi on the mound. This is my favorite game stack on the slate for sure. Yes, the Blue Jays will get some ownership. They have one of the highest implied totals on the slate. I don't think Bradish is bad or awful. I think he has some upside or some potential, but just hasn't been great this year. And yeah, on this hitting slate, this Toronto team, they are back at home, Hoop, which you love. And then Kikuchi, he's just someone I've been picking on. Orioles should be very low owned. They don't have a high implied total. Guaranteed 9th inning at bat. They've treated me pretty well in the past. AP said they've got to Kikuchi before too. So I like this game stack personally. I'll go to you, Hoop, since it's the Blue Jays at home. Talk about it.
Yeah, I think it was just last week or a week and a half ago. They rocked him for a bunch of homers. Could see it again here tonight. I mean, Kikuchi sucks. He's cheeks, as we talked about in the pitcher section. I like the lineup they rolled out here. The one concern, you have McKenna leading off. Cedric Mullins is not in this lineup. So when a right-handed pitcher comes in, McKenna is out of this game. But he has 2K on DK and 2.1K on FanDuel. He's got to get it done probably in his first 2 at-bats. Kikuchi hasn't been going deep into the game, so I'd be very cautious with McKenna. But everyone else, fire away. This Adley Rushman, or however you pronounce his name, solid play. Santander, Mountcastle, Urias, Hayes, Mateo. I'm good with all these guys. You got some full punts down there at the bottom as well. Least favorite play, those probably McKenna. Now, will I have some of them? Yeah, sure. But just know he's got to get it done in the first couple of innings, or he's probably out of this game with Mullins not in the lineup. Last time McKenna was in, Mullins was towards the bottom of the lineup, so you feel a little better about that situation. The fact that Mullins is out, some concern there, but I'm going to have a lot of exposure to the Orioles. And then, like you said, Bradish is a name people were, excited about when he came up, but he hasn't been good, and he's been really bad against right-handed bats. Well, who's the team that has the most right-handed power bats? Probably the Toronto Blue Jays. So like the worst possible matchup for him. Toronto's at home here. They get Springer back as well. This is a very solid offense. The guys, Alejandro Kirk not in the lineup, but man, everyone else in a really good spot. And then, my favorite is going to continue to be, where I'm going with this, Matt Chapman, batting 6th. Ownership is always in check here, 4.7K on DK. People don't like, playing expensive guys that aren't in the middle or top of the order. So I love Chapman. All these guys are in play, the really good spot for Toronto. And then I love Baltimore as well.
Yeah, same page here. You mentioned how Kyle Bradish is reverse splits. Toronto rolled out 9 righties. The only lefty is Tapia there, so you like to see that. AP, Toronto, Baltimore, talk about it.
Yeah, this Baltimore lineup, they've had Kikuchi's number, I believe 5 bombs hit on the year. It's been Santander, Mountcastle with 2, Urias, and Austin Hayes. As far as guys that are hot right now, Jorge Mateo, dude's an absolute stud. My one problem is, I watched that game yesterday against Drew Rasmussen, and they spoiled a perfect game. I mean, it was an incredible performance, but I mean, Drew Rasmussen, not like an elite tier pitcher at all. And he just, absolutely mowed them down. And it's not like he was doing anything too fancy either. So, God, maybe it was just a Sunday hangover type thing. We talk about it all the time. Those Sunday slates are
it's
incredibly volatile. It's baseball. I'm sure they went out and partied. But man, so definitely has to be a spot that we consider and we like. I see it as one that you would think more people would be on it. Like if you look at if you're trying, look at the texture of the slate. You're trying to play Cole, another top tier pitcher. You're going to need salary relief. Urias is 3K. Hayes is 3.3. Mateo's 3.6. Mountcastle's 3.5. That's an easy stack right there. And you got to think that that's going to be pretty popular when people look at kind of the recency and what's happened against Kikuchi's.
You think Orioles get some ownership?
I just think, I'm thinking your natural way of building some MME lineups, you're going to have people with a very similar stack where you have Cole and another top tier pitcher. And then if you just look how to stack up this team, a lot of people are going to do it the same way. It's going to be Mountcastle, Urias, Hayes, Mateo probably right there, and then maybe someone else just because they're so cheap. So just all I would say is think about ways to get different. Absolutely fine going like a 3-man stack, just going on these guys that absolutely pound them. Mountcastle, too cheap. Urias, Mateo, those guys are the ones that I'd be looking at. And then, I'm with you on the Blue Jays here. Absolutely love the power. Bradish, a guy that, we've liked at times, but I think they get to him tonight. Recently saw him last week. So I think they punish him even more tonight. So I'm on board with you guys. I think this is going to be a good game to stack up.
I like it. Before we get to the next game on the slate, 535 watching, 193 likes. Not too bad, but 300 is the number we need. Hit it right now. We do appreciate it. 2 seconds, thumbs up, and then that big red subscribe button too. 9.73K right now, Simon. It's slowly moving up. We got to get 10K pretty soon. I know you guys are going to get it done for us. Like button, big red subscribe button, takes 2 seconds. And again, if you are a member and you are looking to be a member or try it out, there's no better time with the promo code we have going on right now. NFL 15 gets you 15% off your or every single month if you do not cancel. SaberSim is also included in that. NFL right around the corner, going to have so much content as always for it. Baseball, the playoffs have been an absolute printer for the past years with Big T, Gary, all the baseball guys in there. I haven't gotten the streets too much, but I just see winners after winners after winners in the playoffs. So this year I got to dive in a little more. NBA will be here before we know it. Hockey, so much going on. So promo code, I don't know how long it's going to be up. That's up to Hoop. I don't think it'll be too long. So get in now. NFL 15, 15% off. Next game on the slate, New York Mets, Atlanta Braves, Carlos Carrasco, Spencer Strider on the mound. Man, Gary's not here. Otherwise, I assume he'd be liking some Braves. Against Carrasco, though, solid pitcher. AP, I'll go to you. It is the warmest game on the slate, 85 degrees. Does that make a difference for you at all? Any of these teams for bets?
Yeah, I mean, just look at the prices here. It's like two guys that are good, from a pitching standpoint. And then, when you look at these prices, a lot of these guys are very, very expensive. So I can't see myself going to this game. It'll be one that I'll probably fade, and it'll be fun to watch though. Like these Mets Braves seems like a really big rival. Like I see it on Twitter all the time. Like Mets people.
Well, maybe that's because you're following Gary and then Mangone and then a couple other.
And then no, it's Mangone's buddy. That dude,
Joe K,
jerks off to the Mets, and I'm not even lying. Joe, like. You go look up his Twitter replies. It's so funny. Anyone that trolls the Mets, he just, gets in there and kills them. Like it's hilarious. So this is for me going to be a game to watch and then make fun of whoever cries afterwards.
Yeah, I saw Mangone and Gary going at it in Twitter a little bit. Yeah, maybe it's just the circle that we're in, a lot of Mets fans and then a little Braves fan. But I'm going to have to go look at that Twitter. It'll give me a nice laugh because Hoop knew right away what you were talking about. Hoop, Mets, Braves, any bets for you?
Yeah, you got like this rivalry kind of brewing between these teams. And like, in a close game, like the best bullpen arms are coming in, and we already have two solid starters here right out of the gate. So for me, this game is a fade. On the slate, the Braves bats are going to look somewhat interesting because we don't have a lot of good spots. You like Acuna, Austin Riley, Matt Olson, but I'm going to pass and just kind of, bank on this being like a low scoring game. Two just good teams, and you have the rivalry aspect, and I'll be off this one.
Makes some sense. Next game on the slate, Kansas City Royals, Minnesota Twins, Chris Bubic and Joe Ryan on the mound. Again, the Twins have one of the highest implied totals on the slate. Got to go to you though, AP. Bubic's been pretty solid actually this year. He's been your best guy out there. Twins.
Not even close. Brady Singer.
Your boy Singer. I mean, Bubic's been solid though.
Did you see him against the Dodgers?
Yeah,
dude,
I watched a little.
He mowed, man. He's been so good. He's been like really good. He's the only guy that got. Bubic sucks, man. He's terrible.
16, 18, 15, 19, 20.
Bubic, he sucks.
I feel like anytime I stack against him, you look at something like Toronto, Boston, New York. I feel like anytime I stack against them, the dude has went out there and delivered. Maybe that's why. But so Twins, you got to be all over him, hey?
Yeah. So this series, I'm telling you, go back last year. Go even look at this year. All right. So like this year alone, I'm just talking like the game totals. What both teams combined. If we go to the most recent games, we're 10 runs, 10 runs, 10 runs, 5 runs. Then we got 13, 11, 10. And if you go to last year too, these two teams like playing for nothing. Like they had a few monster games. One of them came at the MLB Live Final, where if we would have stacked the Minnesota side of that game, we would have taken down that final very easily. So yeah, I can get on board with a little stack here. I love the Twins side of this game. I mean, Bubic, like he's been maybe a little bit okay recently. The stuff he has is still very average. And this Twins team is, the numbers are starting to look a little better. Maybe we're a little too early, in a little early on that stack. They're starting to come to life now, finding a lineup that looks good. Buxton's in there. He's hitting good. Correa, Miranda's been hitting really good. I think this is going to be one of my favorite spots to stack up. And then even the Royals, man, they got this lineup that's just all these lefties in there against Joe Ryan, who's given up a ton of fly balls to lefties when he's gotten hard hit. I think this game is going to be a fun one to stack up. They got Prado back in there. That guy has some power. You got Massey, who's good at getting on base. And, Salvi Perez, obviously. You got the Vinny Pasquantino, the Italian nightmare. He's been hitting really good when he's facing a righty. So I like a little game. This is going to be one of my favorite games to stack up tonight. I think the Royals also coming off a nice win over the Dodgers, lost the series, but, it's still a nice win over the Dodgers yesterday. So maybe a little bit more motivated. And then the Twins too, I think are going to put up a big number tonight. I think the Twins put up like 7-8 runs here, maybe even double digit against Bubic and the Royals. I think maybe from a pitching standpoint, with the performance that that Singer had, and then they brought in their better arms. They don't have any good reliever arms there that in this spot here tonight. I don't think I think the Twins are going to get to them big time.
Nate Eaton, is that Adam Eaton's brother by any chance?
I have no idea.
Yeah, we'll roll with it for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see the last name Eaton too often. I don't say Nate Eaton. Right away.
The cheap guys though, I like Vinny Pasquantino, Massey.
He's still 2-1. Why is his price been the same since
Prado? They're all 2K too, so it's I'm just gonna jam in these top two pitchers, the expensive pitchers, and then stack up this game and the Orioles and Toronto game.
Wow, Vinny's been crushing. Holy shit!
Yeah, I'm telling you, he's
2-1.
He has a
It
ton of
hasn't
power,
moved.
man.
He's got 4 homers in his last 6 games. What a hero!
I mean, that price tag would be 5-1 if it was any other name. It looks like, and DK just refuses to do anything.
Wow,
the Royals GIF's going to be flowing all night in chat, so it's going to be a good night. Hopefully, they're getting pounded though, because I do like the Twins a lot more.
Hoop, are you on AP side?
I'm in on the Twins for sure. I think their lineup just came out not too long ago. It's their standard lineup. I'd definitely focus on the core guys. Correa, Buxton.
It's pretty solid, top to bottom, I think.
Yeah, it's a solid lineup for sure.
Man.
Gary Sanchez, 2.6K to fill the catcher position. If you're double spending at pitcher, he's a guy to consider down there, batting 9th. Hasn't had the best season, but he's had hits and he's had 5 hits the last 3 games, a home run in there. So yeah, I like him down there. I like the core guys. Even Araz is cheap at 3.6K. I think the Twins do get the job done. Now, the one thing I will say about the Twins is we know, the last basically 2 seasons, they disappoint a lot in really good spots. So that's the one drawback, but I will have some of them just because of the nature of this slate. And now that I saw Vinny's game log, definitely have some interest here in the Royals. Probably more so 3-man stacks, Vinny, Sal Perez, Bobby Witt or Melendez. I'd focus on the main guys. I'm not going to go down and play Adam Eaton's brother or some of these other scrubs down there. So Twins 5-man, Royals 3-man. Love it.
I like it. Next game on the slate, Oakland Athletics, Texas Rangers, James Caprillion and Glenn Otto on the mound. Hoop, I'll go back to you. Texas got a all right total for this slate. Any Rangers for you, and then any Athletics? Hoop.
Yeah, just not playing the Athletics. I mean, who the hell is Cal Stevenson leading off? I mean, look at this lineup. I mean, they do find a way to muster up some runs every now and again, but not going to the A's. We have enough cheap bats where I don't need to come here. But I do have some interest in the Rangers. I do like this lineup. Semien, very on FanDuel, he's like 2.4K. It's kind of like a free square in cash games, I'd say. But Seager's been solid. Dallas Garcia, I like his price tag. Nate Lowe at 2.9. You get the catcher there in Heim. Leody Taveras is a guy I like, and then I'm probably not going to mess with the guys at the bottom. Brad Miller is a guy that has treated us well in the past, but just having a really bad season this year. He's just been really, really bad. So I'd probably stop it at the 1 through 6, but I will definitely have some exposure to the Rangers tonight.
Makes some sense, AP.
Yeah, man, this spark, this is one of those games where I don't see myself getting too much exposure to. Kind of in line with Hoop on the Rangers side. Leody Taveras, I think he's a guy that we can go to back in that lineup, but I'm going to be under on this spot, I believe, tonight. I mean, Seth Brown is like a first baseman I like, but we got Vinny, who's a lot cheaper and hitting better right now. So the A's an easy fade, and I hope both of these pitchers just do okay, but I don't see them I see them limiting. Yeah, I see them limiting damage.
Some flyouts,
ground out. Yeah. And I'll be fine with that. So I'll be under on this game tonight.
Yeah, definitely makes some sense there. 4 games left on the slate. Likes are a little hurtful right now. I'm not going to lie. We need 75 more. Still got a little time, but 4 more games, get into the stacks. I think you guys will still get it done for us. 300. And again, if you want to be a member, NFL 15 gets you 15% off. Head over on Peer Sports and make sure you get in the Discord too. It's always a good time in the Discord. People talking sports at all times of the day. NFL 15, that is 15% off for life if you don't cancel. Los Angeles Dodgers, Milwaukee Brewers, Julio Urias, and Freddie Peralta on the mound. two solid pitchers. Freddie's not fully strung out though. Like he's not going to be throwing 6 innings, 7 innings by any means. However, if the Dodgers get to him early, you don't see the Brewers' best bullpen arms, which I think you need for this. If it's a lower scoring game, it's tough. The Dodgers, the top 4 guys, all 5K and above, 5 through 9, all 4.5K and below. So that's an interesting one. AP, talk about these Dodgers. I think it's an interesting spot. Curious what you got to say.
Yeah, I'm going to be fading the Dodgers tonight. I do think they could get to Peralta. I'm not going to pay a premium. I mean, Mookie Betts, 6'3". I'm not going to pay a premium for Betts, Turner, Freeman, and those guys when we are prioritizing pitching on the slate. I just they had a 2 monster games against, Kansas City, but some of these road trips, man, they can get brutal at times. And so, I think I'm going to be under here on them, and then I'm definitely not playing the Brewers. They have not been able to hit lefties at all. And look at the lineup too; like they're having to throw. I mean, it kind of makes sense when you look at their best hitters are lefties. So I'll be under on this game overall.
Ooh, you're the Dodgers guy. Very interested what you got to say. They're on the road, guaranteed 9th inning at bats in a better hitter's park than at home, but they get Freddie Peralta, a good bullpen behind if they don't get to him early. 1 through 4, if you do stack them, got to talk about how you will, because 1 through 4 and 5 through 9, the prices are completely different. You're paying up at pitcher. It'll be hard to pay 6-3 for Mookie. So talk about this game.
Yeah, well, we're not going to have that conversation about how you stack them because I'm off of them. I mean, the main thing is because of what you opened with, the prices. And what did we talk about at pitcher? We want to be in that top tier at pitcher. Well, if you play Mookie Betts, Trey Turner, Freddie Freeman, Will Smith, you're not getting to that top tier of pitcher. So can you go to the bottom and play these guys? Yeah, sure, if you want, but I don't actually love the bottom down here. Like Justin Turner, I mean, I don't know. I'm just not into it. So Dodgers are going to be a fade for me, mostly due to the price tags and what I want to do at pitcher. And then, for all the reasons that you guys mentioned, I'll be off of the Brewers. The one thing I don't get with this Brewers lineup is why they keep fucking around with like Rowdy Tellez versus like lefties. Yeah, he's an elite hitter in Major League Baseball.
Well, he's in there today, so that means
he's in the lineup, but like, why is he not their cleanup batter? Yeah. Like, he's a phenomenal hitter. I mean, he's an awesome hitter. Like, he's earned the right to be in there against lefties in his spot, which is, the 3 or 4 hole. So whatever, but not on this game at all.
You need to put big Mike Brusso in the 4-hole hoop.
It's crazy because he's actually hitting. Him and McCutchen are the only ones that are hitting lefties right now.
Renfro's got to be. Hey, he's been swinging a hot stick.
Yeah, but I'm looking at last 30 days. He's been pretty cold against lefties.
Wow, he must do all of his damage against right. He's been hot. I didn't know that. That surprises me. But yeah, no interest in this game for any of those two over there. 3 games left on the slate. Houston Astros, Chicago White Sox, Jose Urquidy, Johnny Cueto on the mound. Oop, I'll go back to you. Johnny Cueto, man, I never get this dude right. I try and stack against him earlier. The dude just somehow keeps getting it done. Talk about this game for bets.
I'm going to keep going against him. I don't give a crap. And the totals come down in this game too, which is annoying. But I have to be on the Astros here. Alvarez, Tucker. I will say though, I mean, this is not a great Astros lineup. No Jose Altuve. They had Jeremy Pena. Pena got scratched. Yeah, so it's not a great lineup, but I just have to be on, especially Alvarez and Kyle Tucker. Dubon. 2K on FanDuel, 2.5K. On DK. So there's another cheap bet, but I have to continue to pick on Cueto. I don't care. Like if he beats me tonight, that's fine. I'll pick on him next game as well. The White Sox, I think a little bit interesting here. Urquidy, had that really good start, but he's definitely vulnerable. He's not like a lockdown pitcher by any means. This White Sox lineup, they have guys that can do some damage. So I don't know, like I'm moderately interested in the White Sox, not like a top 5 stack or anything for me, probably like 6 or 7. So if you're building a bunch of teams, they're fine, but I don't know. It's just, definitely Astros, maybe some White Sox is where I'm at.
Yeah, I don't mind as a couple White Sox, like Pollock, back-to-back games with the dinger. You got Andrew Vaughn homered yesterday. I wouldn't mind picking some of those guys off. I think this game comes in pretty low owned. I wish it was hotter in Chicago, only 73, but it's the nature of the slate. It's not warm in too many of these places. AP, White Sox, Astros, talk about it.
Yeah, my one problem, like with the Astros, is they're very top of the order, and the very bottom of the order is just terrible right now against righties. And you do got Kyle Tucker, who's hitting righties good, Bregman, out, Yordong. Outside of those guys, I just don't like this spot at all. And then, like, I'm with you guys, like Johnny Cueto, like we should be able to stack against this guy, but he continues to just get it done and limit damage, and it's very frustrating. So I'll be under on the Astros. The White Sox, I mean, I'm not like, Urquidy, not like a guy we love attacking, but he hasn't been like that good either. So like you could make the case to like a mini stack here with Eloy Jimenez. I think he's fine. Abreu, Vaughn, some of those guys, but I don't love this spot. Gavin Sheets too, down there batting eighth, the cheap guy that could definitely hit a bomb. I would just limit it to like a 3-man mini stack.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, today's when pitching's so elite, like we talk about, and you see these totals and it's not too warm across the country for these slates, like it's going to be uncomfortable if you put a 5-man stack in there for some of these teams, but that's just the nature of the slate. Everyone's going to feel uncomfortable with a lot of their lineups. 2 games left. We need 51 more likes. I'm not going to look until we go 2 more games. I'm going to talk stacks, read a little promo, then I'll look at the likes, but man, it's hurtful. It's not looking great right now. It takes 2 seconds. I will never understand, but I appreciate if you guys hit it. Seattle Mariners, Los Angeles Angels, Luis Castillo, Shohei Ohtani. We got 1 game left, I think, because I think it's going to go pass.
Pass.
Yeah, definitely not playing. I mean, man, these 2 pitchers are going to get it done tonight. So I like this Mariners lineup. We can't play him against Ohtani. All I want to say is I like this lineup. I think we're going to be able to play these guys against many pitchers down the stretch here.
Yeah, you already have been doing it. It definitely makes some sense. Last game on the slate, Arizona Diamondbacks, San Francisco Giants, Madison Bumgarner, Alex Cobb on the mound. Giants have one of the better implied totals on the slate against Bumgarner. 60 degrees in San Fran, though. Not the best hitter's park, but hey, that's just the nature of the slate. Like I keep saying, AP, any Giants for you? Any Diamondbacks for you?
No, I don't play these teams. Emmanuel Rivera he used to be a Royal.
He used
to be a Royals guy. So he's been crushing the ball. He's the one. Well, I was gonna say he's the one guy. Like if I needed some value relief there, like he's just been hitting so good. I could see playing him. I just like with the Giants, like I don't know. Maybe if you guys have a better read on them for me, I haven't been playing them and it really hasn't been hurting me.
No, I'm with you too. Hoop, do you have any different take? Diamondbacks, Giants?
Yeah, exact same point. I mean, talk about it all the time on these shows. Like I just don't play the Giants and it hasn't hurt me. If they come out and score 12 tonight, move on to tomorrow and pick some winners then. I'm just not playing this Giants team. It's been my mindset for a while. It's worked out well. And the one nice thing, if you do fade them, a lot of these guys are popping in projection. So they're going to be owned tonight to some degree, not like super popular by any means, but they're going to have some ownership. I will be off these guys for sure, both sides.
Yep, definitely makes some sense. Let's get into our top 3 stacks. I'm just going to say the Orioles and Blue Jays game stack. I really like that game. That stands out to me. Hoop, I'll go to you though. Top 3 stacks.
Yeah, very interested in Texas, Houston, Toronto, and then the Orioles as well. I mean, I really like the Orioles. I don't think they're going to have all that much ownership. So those are 4 teams that I really like.
I like it. AP.
Yeah, I'm going to go Twins, Orioles, Royals.
I like it. Again, I'm not looking at the likes. Going to read a quick promo off. Hopefully it is 300 by the time I get done. But NFL 15 is a promo code we got running right now. Not sure how long it's going to be up. Gets you 15% off every single month if you do not cancel for the lifetime of your subscription. And SaberSim is also included in the promo, which is not always the case. So great deal, NFL 15. If you do join, make sure you get in the Discord too. You'll get the live show, up to lock show every single day for MLB. That'll be coming up in 18 minutes. See who DC's on. You get the core plays, the playbook, cast chart, all of that. Get golf, NASCAR, MMA, League of Legends, any sport that's going on, you get it. So it's a great time to join or head over on Peer Sports and check it out. We also do have an underdog promo code. Best ball season's going on right now. Even BigT got on the best ball show and drafted a team with Snyder and Simon. They got a lot of good YouTube videos up on the YouTube. So check that out. The promo code is RUNPEER and they'll match your deposit up to $100. So check that out. The likes. Man, not even close. So I don't got too much more to say. 10 games on this slate. Good pitching, not great hitting. We'll be in the Discord. We'll see you on the Up the Lock show. For everyone that liked the button, I hope you do get to the top of the leaderboard with that RPS logo. Other people, I hope you min cash. I don't want to have any bad negativity, but that's hurtful if you don't hit it. That's going to be all for us, though. Hope you guys and gals all have a great Monday night. For Hoop, AP, Simon Behind the Sticks, I'm Titletown. Good luck, everybody.